All right. Good morning. Good morning. Well, at least it's morning time where I am. Welcome. Uh, I wanted to go live last night, but I needed some bed rest. Needed some bed rest. All right. Yeah, Gabriel in the building. ABQ, four-legged plague. Lady Naja, welcome. I'm not that well prepared for this live stream, but that's okay. It probably won't be that long, but whenever I get infuriated, I gotta go live, even if I'm not well prepared. I gotta get it off my chest right then and there, because that's when my energy is at its peak, and I do my best streams when I'm excited, and I'm a little excited right now. Oh man, just going over some of these stories that surfaced recently. Oh my goodness, this is one of them. January 5th, this surfaced, but I just actually, January 5th, but I just saw it today. Lewiston woman sues former neighbor and his landlord for an attack in 2021. She was mauled by a neighbor's dog while she was raking leaves in her yard. According to the complaint, the dog escaped through a broken fence and attacked her. Now, this is what set me off. This is what set me off. And a bunch of things went through my mind. And you got to forgive me, my voice might go in and out here. I am so angry and upset, disappointed at our laws. These suicidal laws that say that dogs can be off leash as long as the owner is close by. Okay, I don't know how many people have heard about this. I believe I got a screenshot here. Here's one. And this is actual law in some places. Here in Ohio, that's really the law here in Ohio. It says in general, it's not recommended to let your dog off the leash unless you are in an enclosed area. In other words, unless you're inside your home. Then it goes on to say, your dog must be properly trained to behave well and stay right by your side or under your voice control at all times when it is off the leash. So we have to trust these people and trust the mutt when it's off. That's exactly what happened with that guy the other day that I had to pull my gun out on. I'd like to see him try that again. Now, I know how to handle a gun. You don't point it, and I wanted to point that out, people. If you are a gun owner, don't point it at anyone. Keep it pointed towards the ground. Okay? But if they're so arrogant, if they're so reckless, stupid, to allow their dog to run around off leash, you are well within your rights to pull out your weapon. Pull it out. Be ready. That will send the message to these idiots that they cannot go around intimidating. That's the only reason they do it. I'm telling you, and it is usually these little skinny wimps Now, there's nothing wrong with being skinny, but don't be insecure and scared of the world. These so-called men are usually puny and terrified of everybody in the world. Terrified of 99% of the men that they come across. So in order to compensate for that, they want to have a big dog and allow it off leash. That's all they're doing. Okay? So when you pull your weapon out, not only do you reverse it, now they are the ones who are intimidated. Okay? And that's how it should be. That's unfortunate. But these are the laws that we have to deal with. And these people, as we all know, these dog nuts, just like with this story, they love to let their dog roam off leash. I'm telling you people, if you Google, I think I got a couple screenshots here. These people love to let their dog roam off leash. Here, let me share my screen here. I gotta show y'all something. This infuriated me so much. I'm still upset about this. This is it? Yeah, this is it. Look at this. There are a lot of discussions that have already been had about this. But what you want to look at is the dog owners who want to let the dogs run around off leash in public. Look at what this idiot asked. He said, when is it okay to let my dog run without a leash in public? Huh? And many of the other ones, they're saying, why do so many people let their dogs run around off leash? These people love to do that. They love it. They love to see their dogs terrorize the community and terrorize people. This is sanctioned domestic terrorism. And there's an endless number of discussions that have been had over several years. Several years. And here, you know how with forum searches like this, sometimes when you go to the 5th, 6th page, the topics will change. Not with this. Because there's been so many topics. And this is just Quora. Imagine how many are on Reddit. Look, how to let my dog roam. These people want to let their mutts roam around off leash. Huh? So, these idiots don't care. Dogs being off leash, that's the #1 reason why people get attacked. The #1 reason. It's always an off-leash mutt. There may be a few examples of a dog that's tied up, but those are the exception. And these people insist on letting these mutts run around off leash. They have been given the green light to terrorize the community. It's as simple as that. Now I was looking over some gun safety tips. Okay? And I did not like what I saw. I think this is it. The 12 golden rules for safe gun handling. Always treat the gun as loaded. Keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Okay? Always keep it pointed in a safe direction. Always keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Always keep the gun unloaded. Now, look. No. If any of you come across this information, do not obey that information, that advice. It says always keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use it. People, that is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for disaster. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something here. Don't ever do that. Let me share my screen here. Some of you may have seen this video. It is a classic. Millions of views. Okay. But it gives you a good example of what to do. The title of this is Man Confronts Thief for Stealing UPS Box Off of His Front Porch. Okay? Check this out.
Put my shit back on this fucking porch. Yeah. I saw you when you got out the motherfucking car. You tried it. Put my shit back on this motherfucking porch.
Sure.
You done lost your motherfucking mind. You done come up on my shit and take my shit.
You got it.
You lucky.
You got it.
You lucky.
You got it.
Motherfucker. You see this motherfucker just tried to take the package off the porch?
Yeah.
Right in front of me, like the motherfucking window ain't open.
Camera.
Like
Okay. There was a lot that happened in this short clip. It's only a minute long. What I want to bring your attention to is how not only was this gun loaded, it was cocked. Watch. Y'all see that? As soon as he walked out the door, he cocked it. Huh? Now just imagine if you got an unloaded gun, talking about defending yourself from a dog attack. You know how worthless that gun would be? You really setting yourself up to be mauled with a gun in your hand. That's what's going to happen. So you can follow that advice if you want to. I don't, and I won't. Now, if it's not your thing, I know some people have a thing with guns. Like I said, get a BB gun. A BB gun do some serious damage to a dog, especially when you look at how cowardly they are. When you stand up to a dog and you shoot it with a BB, most likely it's going to run away. Most likely. Now, something else I want to point out in this video. These dog nuts, these are very disrespectful people. We talk about that all the time. These are people who have no respect for humanity at all. At all. And I want you to pay attention. Now, of course, this was disrespectful going up to this man's house, taking his package. But I want you to pay attention to what the thief says.
Yeah.
The thief said, the thief called him an old man. He was like, "Oh snap, old man. Listen, this idiot, this man came out with an assault rifle, cocked it. You stand there with his package, unarmed, and you gonna call him an old man? Where is these people's brain? I'm telling you, this spirit of absolute stupidity and lack of respect permeates throughout the entire population. What are you thinking? He deserves a slap just for referring to this man as an old man. You should have said, sir, mister, and he called him old man multiple times. Listen.
I saw you when you got out. Put my shit back on this fucking porch. Yeah. I saw you when you got out the motherfucking car. You tried it. Put my shit back on this motherfucking porch. You done lost your motherfucking mind. You done come up on my...
He said, my bad, old man. Dude, who do you think you talking to? He obviously has no idea how disrespectful he's being. And how could you be that dumb? Where you not know it's disrespectful to just refer to this man as old man. Here, you on the edge of death right here. And you don't even know how to conduct your language properly. You just been busted trying to steal. And the guy that busted you in with a rifle about to shoot you, you call him an old man multiple times. Now, I point this out not only to show that, no, you need a loaded weapon. You definitely need a loaded weapon, but also to show the spirit of stupidity. There's a culture that we have in this country of absolute stupidity and a lack of respect, and it is disgusting. And we have to protect ourselves from these lunatics. These are lunatics. Now, National Dog Bite Prevention Week is the second week, I think the second week of April, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all believe that? Oh shit, old man. You got it, old man. What? He's just ready to die. Ready to die. So, as we heard on the news report, I shared it, I think, on the most recent live stream about Dog Bite Prevention Week. The journalist mentioned Dog Bite Prevention Week, and it's only one stupid week. And it always makes me mad because they talk about the same thing over and over again every year. People, I'm going to need y'all to understand, really keep in mind of how worthless these so-called professionals are. It's scary. I can't even make fun of it anymore. It's so serious, and the brainwashery is so consistent that it's scary. You always have to beware of educated people. People who go to school, colleges, universities, and they become educated to be a particular thing. Do not trust people like this, because these people do not apply common sense to the education that they get. And that's the biggest problem. They basically turn into robots, and they simply regurgitate everything that they've been taught without applying any common sense. It's so bad that they can run into numerous cases that contradict everything that they teach. and they will never augment what they teach. They'll never make changes to what they preach. Now, this website, what is this? Oh, respectyourdog.com. Dog bite prevention in children. Oh, man. You know what? We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. I want to show y'all, because this is serious, people. This is, we're going to have to come back to that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. We got to come back to that. Because I got to hammer this point home. Since we're on this topic, I got to hammer this point home. Okay? Check this out.
Death by a New York City police officer. Now the Bronx woman's pet was shot to death by a New York City police officer. Now the devastated woman wants the officer held accountable. CBS 2's Valerie Castro reports the shooting was caught on video.
He was my beloved, and now he's gone.
Yvonne Rosado relives the moment her dog Spike was killed every time she leaves her apartment.
He was my beloved. And now he's gone.
Yvonne Rosado relives the moment her dog Spike was killed every time she leaves her apartment.
It's like a tearing inside that I feel every day when I open that door and I see that in my head, him just lying there twitching.
It happened in
Now, y'all see this woman all distraught, crying? This woman is out of her mind. I just want y'all to understand. What you're looking at is utter insanity. Utter insanity. It's not just her. It's all of them. All of these dog nuts. She's boo-hooing and crying. But look at what she did that got that mutt shot. I'm quite sure you've all seen this video.
He was my beloved, and now he's gone.
Yvonne Rosado relives the moment her dog Spike was killed every time she leaves her apartment.
It's like a tearing inside that I feel every day when I open that door and I see that in my head, him just lying there twitching.
It happened in this stairwell last month when a neighbor called police for an unrelated issue. The neighbor says she was talking to officers when Rosado cracked open her own door to see what was going on. Spike, a pit bull, slipped out.
When I realized that it was an officer in front of the door, I said, he's friendly, he's friendly.
In this surveillance video, you can see Spike come out of the apartment, his tail wagging as he runs over to the officer, who pulls his weapon and shoots at point-blank range. We are freezing the video just before the gunshot.
Oh, my goodness. Did y'all hear and see what that lunatic said and did? These people are lunatics. And dog nuttery. It robs people of any amount of intelligence they may have. She said that when she realized it was an officer at the door, that she told them that it was friendly.
In this video, you can see Spike come out of the apartment, his tail wagging as he runs over to...
His tail wagging. So this journalist, this woman who is talking, is a dog nut as well. And she is just as much of a idiot, of a brain dead idiot, as the owner of this mutt.
The officer who pulls his weapon and...
Look at, she opened that door, let that dog out, and never went out to try to catch it. So this is not a case of a dog slipping out the door. Because if it was, she would have been right behind it trying to get it. So you're saying that you left that mutt out and you stayed inside of the apartment and you simply told the officers it's friendly, it's friendly? This is not unique to her. Most dog nutters can relate to doing something like this. Because this is typical dog nutter idiocy. Idiocy. So this mutt,
And shoots at point.
tail wagging. Oh my God. What's wrong with these people in this tail wagging crap? Do y'all know that there are no studies? They don't even have any research, no studies that have been done by any universities anywhere that says that when dogs wag their tail, they're being harmless. That's a sign of friendship, or that the dog is being friendly. They don't even base that on research. But they swear up and down that a dog's tail wagging indicates that it's friendly. Man, oh man. Nothing infuriates me more than the stupidity of these dog nutters. Nothing. This is unprecedented stupidity, and this is utter insanity. These people cannot claim to have any amount of common sense, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because if you have some shred of common sense and it does not seep into the ownership of your mutt, then you must not have that much common sense. If you're still dumb enough to do stuff like this, no, you don't have much common sense. And in that video, just imagine if that cop had an unloaded gun. Huh? He would have been attacked.
Yeah. Does it want to bite? Yeah, I was pretty scared, actually. It's hard to, I tried to give it water or whatever, but it was, it kind of attacked me almost, like rabid. And I'm not someone to scare.
I still have 72 are back in town.
Hey! Back up! Back up! Back! Back!
So, this cop, luckily for him, had a loaded weapon. People, do not walk around with no unloaded weapon. You know how much of a victim you're going to be? Don't do that. And as always, it is an unleashed dog that tried to attack. And these people still insist they cannot wait to let their dog run around off leash. Okay? Now, if you don't want a real gun, if you don't want a BB gun, I hope you will at least use a knife. But honestly, I don't even want to get close enough to a worthless mutt to have to use a knife. Now, this is one of the most disturbing videos I've seen. I've seen this a long time ago, but I never showed it on a live stream. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I never showed this on the live stream because it's disturbing. Okay, so brace yourself. Okay, I had to pause that. That cop shot that girl. Shooting that mutt, or trying to shoot it. I think he did shoot it. He also shot that child. But look at how fast he had to react. And in the comment section, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah. You see this comment. The dog was serving and protecting his family. Now, people, this is exactly why dogs should be banned. There is no reason to attack random people. That mutt wasn't protecting anyone because nobody was trying to attack them. This idea that it's acceptable for dogs to attack any and everybody that comes onto the property is ridiculous. It's criminal. Most people are not there to attack the owner, the mailman, company, and it's usually these people who get attacked. It's usually company, mailman, or a relative who lives in the home. It's very rare that an actual criminal is attacked by a dog. But these people think it's okay and acceptable. Like I said, this speaks to their insanity. They truly think that this was acceptable for the dog to attack someone who is not there to harm anyone. And it is because dogs are not intelligent enough to figure out who is and who is not a threat. That's why they should be banned. That's why they should be banned. Okay? Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Let me show you another one. This one really takes the cake.
.423. Start me as supervisor. I had a dog charge me and I just dispatched it. Huh? Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
It was.
She said, "Did you shoot my dog?" He said, "Yeah, I did." She said, "Oh my God. Oh my God. You killed a predator that was trying to attack you? Oh my God. No." Really? The way these people believe that you shouldn't protect yourself, that you should instead just stand there. That speaks to how insane they are. All dog owners adapt this insanity. They all do. They all acquire this mentality that because the dog doesn't attack them personally, that it won't attack anybody else in the world, that it's then free to roam around off leash. And even if it attacks someone, if you kill it in self-defense, they're going to play the victim. The psychology of these people is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. You got to protect yourself against lunatics like this. These people are not mentally healthy. They're not mentally healthy. So you cannot expect the general public, people who are not dog nuts, to comply with their expectations or with the law. Excuse me, not the law, the advice from these so-called experts, these veterinarians, and which we all know is more insanity. And this is the scariest part of it all. We can't even depend on the educated class, because these people do nothing but regurgitate the same nonsense that they read, that they study in their college courses or whatever they go to become veterinarians, dog behaviorists, or whatever. They don't apply any independent thought to it. They don't take into consideration actual cases. They always simply regurgitate the stuff that they've read. In today's world, it's usually stuff they've read online.
This time of year, Louisiana sees an increase in dog bites as more people spend more time outdoors, and this comes just days before the start of Dog Bite Prevention Week. It runs from May 18th to the 22nd. Officer Amanda Pamela with the Louisiana SPCA is here in studio with a friend that needs a home. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who's this today?
This is Octavia. She's a year-old little female who's looking for a forever home.
Oh, she's a cutie. Tell me what type of dog do we have here?
Well, she's an American Pit Bull Terrier. She has mix in her, but we don't know what it is because she came to us as an adult.
Aw, she is a cute dog. So what kind of home would be perfect for her?
Well, she loves to ride in cars. She's
Amanda Pamela with the Louisiana SPCA is here in studio with a friend that needs a home. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who's this today?
This is Octavia. She's a year-old little female who's looking for a forever home.
Oh, she's a cutie. Tell me what type of dog do we have here?
Well, she's an American Pit Bull Terrier. She has mix in her, but we don't know what it is because she came to us as an adult.
Aw, she is a cute dog. So what kind of home would be perfect for her?
Well, she loves to ride in cars. She's calm. She wants to snuggle. And she loves other animals. She came from a home with another animal. So just a loving home.
She's a well-behaved dog. Okay, so let's talk about this time of year. A lot of people are outdoors. You want to get the message out. There's certain things, you know, as you head out, if you or your kids encounter aggressive dogs, the first thing people want to do is run.
And that's one of the first things you shouldn't do. Dogs can run faster than you. So running away from them is just going to incite their prey instinct, and they're going to want to chase after you, and they can run faster than you can.
And what are usually the circumstances? You say this time of year the SPCA sees an uptick in dog bites. Tell me some of the circumstances that people find themselves in that leads to that.
Well, it's warmer, so a lot of people are outside along with the pets. So a lot of the time, sometimes children are left unattended with dogs, and sometimes little children don't understand dogs' personal spaces. So keeping an eye on your children while around familiar and unfamiliar dogs is always an important thing to do.
And you say never leave a child alone with a dog. Does that include the family pet as well?
It's better to be safe than sorry. Everyone thinks that their dog doesn't bite until they do. You know, any animal has an opportunity to cause harm.
And, you know, most dogs...
This is coming from the experts. This was in honor of National Dog Bite Prevention Week. And the only advice she wanted to give is that you need to watch your kids. Your kids don't know how to behave. They don't understand dogs' As always, I have shown more video footage than I can remember of dogs coming out of nowhere, attacking kids. I have shared more stories than I can remember where dogs came out of nowhere and attacked completely unprovoked. These people, these veterinarians, these dog behaviorists, these are not professionals. They're not. These are like mafia members, liars, propaganda pushers. We really have to get into the habit of not trusting these people. Because these are overt lies that does not take actual cases into consideration. Right? We've been talking about this forever.
For the most part, they're just adorable and loving pets. But, you know, every once in a while, you do hear of these dog bite situations. You say, do not make eye contact. Tell me about that.
Well, they look at it as you being dominant and aggressive towards them. So making eye contact is a bad idea, but keeping them in your peripheral vision and looking at them, just not directly at them, is preferable.
Also, you said when you run into an aggressive dog, don't scream.
Don't scream. Don't make any high-pitched noises as if you know, as if something would make as if they were being attacked. It will incite their drive.
That gets them going even more, right? If you do fall to the ground, I mean, you're saying try to stay up on your feet, but if you are in a situation where you feel
and shut up. These people. Now, do y'all notice that these dog bite prevention nutters never give you advice on shooting a dog, even though it's the law that we can shoot a dog? We can plant a miniature rocket into a mutt's head, and we are within our rights by law to do that. If an aggressive dog is approaching you in an aggressive manner, you can shoot it. These people never give tips on that. They never talk about, well, carry a gun. A dog comes up on you, use it. It's always some rhetoric about, don't look at it in the eye. And why, you know, like we've said, why anybody would want to take care of a creature that will become aggressive if you look at it in the eye, but it can look at you in the eye all it wants, is beyond me. Right?
You know, if you have watched Dog Life for any amount of time whatsoever, you know that we love our dogs. But we know that no matter how big or how small or how nice or how not so nice, all dogs can bite.
Yeah, and this happens to be National Dog Bite Prevention Week. You know, millions of people, most of them children, are bitten by dogs every year. The majority of these bites, if not all, are preventable. So we're going to talk more about it with Dr. Stacy Waters, a veterinarian with the Dover Spay Neuter Clinic. Dr. Waters, thank you so much for joining us.
They're preventable by not having them around. But let's go ahead and listen to this brain dead so-called professional. All you dog veterinarians and dog behaviorists, let me tell you, if I know some of you follow this channel and you listen, I have no respect for your education whatsoever. And if you ever accept my challenge in any type of debate, it doesn't have to be live. You can think all you want, write it out, and submit it in an email. I will share it and respond. I'm going to devour whatever stupidity you spew out, because I know you're not going to tell the truth. because it would hurt your credibility as a professional. Nobody would come to you and accept advice from you. I have no respect for your education and no respect for the narratives that you push. Okay, now let's look at an example of what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much for having me, Lisa and Jimmy. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
So first of all, it's never safe to assume that a dog won't bite, is it?
Any dog can bite. Anything with teeth can bite. So even puppies, we shouldn't take for granted. Again, when dogs and puppies are very scared, very nervous, they have the natural response to protect themselves in what we call fight or flight. So if they can't run away from a situation, they will react by biting.
Okay, and guess what? Any and everything makes these mutants scared. They become frightened and full of anxiety just by walking on an unfamiliar surface like grass. Loud noises, bright unfamiliar color schemes, any and everything can fill these brain dead mutants with anxiety and fear. So I don't buy this narrative that, oh, when they're afraid, of course it's okay to protect yourself when you're afraid, isn't it? Of course. But not if you're a dog. Not if every and anything makes you scared, things that are unreasonable to be afraid of. These things get afraid of stuff that's not even living, not even alive. They get full of anxiety and they feel like they need to protect themselves. They get scared of babies, kids. Is that what you're saying? Yes. They're saying with kids. We'll get to that. These so-called experts claim that kids scare dogs.
So March of 2020, there were more bite incidents. Do you think that had anything to do with the pandemic?
It had something to do with the pandemic in that we saw a record number of people going out and getting dogs and puppies, which was great. But at the same time, adding a new family member in the form of a pet presents its own challenges. So when people would have new family members come over, or they were learning the personality of their new pet, sometimes that led to an increase in the reports of dog bites.
And now...
What? What did she just say? Let's rewind that.
It had something to do with the pandemic in that we saw a record number of people going out and getting dogs and puppies, which was great. But at the same time, adding a new family member in the form of a pet presents its own challenges. So when people would have new family members come over, or they were learning the personality of their new pet, sometimes that led...
So when these people, after they adopted a dog, when they would have cousins or other relatives come over, oh, the dog would then attack them. Or, she said, when you're learning your new dog's personality. In other words, the dog might just attack you or someone who lives in your home. For what? Absolutely no reason. She basically gave no reason at all. Because the true reason is that these things attack for no reason. And that the real reason there was an increase in dog attacks is because more people own dogs. On top of that, they spent more time with the dogs. What does that tell you? That dogs are simply violent, bloodthirsty creatures that will snap for anything. Any and everything will set them off and you never know what exactly is going to set them. That's one of the biggest problems with dog nuttery. These people never know what will set these things off. And they simply take the chance anyways.
Led to an increase in the reports of dog bites.
And now it seems we're going through another transition where a lot of people are heading back to work, restrictions are being lifted. How can we help our pets with that transition so they don't bite?
A leash is your dog's best friend no matter what happens. If you're on a leash as a pet owner and a dog owner, you're in total control. So if your dog seems uncomfortable with a situation, it's panting a lot, it's trying to get away from whatever's making it nervous, pay attention to that. Don't ignore those signs and try to protect your pet as well as the people around your pet.
Is there anything that we can do to teach our kids better how to avoid a bite?
Again, by nature, children are very curious and they see the doggy and they want to pet it and hug it. But hugging is not a natural behavior for dogs. They don't go around hugging each other. So if someone approaches them and tries to hug them, that's going to make them even more nervous. Yeah. So especially with children, adults always want to supervise a dog in a situation with a child. Even if it's your own dog in your own household, never leave a child unsupervised with a dog. It can lead to disaster. Also teach children to ask permission before they pet a dog. A lot of times kids want to run up to a dog and just naturally hug it because, again, that's what they see.
Shut your stupid mouth, you brain dead idiot. I'm so sick of these people. Do y'all see a pattern here where these numbnuts simply regurgitate the stuff that they've heard others say? These people are worthless. As professionals who can help you and give you proper advice, these people are absolutely worthless. And it is so infuriating. Y'all see this pattern? Virtually every video I've shown of a child being attacked, a mutt came out of nowhere. Virtually every story I've shared. What was it? We just went over a story that happened, a few days ago, where the little girl simply got out of a chair. She was sitting on a chair, got off the chair. The dog attacked. So, in other words, they omit the scenario where dog attacks happen most often. And that is when dogs simply attack for no reason. Why do they ignore that? Because the true solution to that is to not have dogs around. And they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to say that. They don't want to face up to that. When you got dogs running out of nowhere, running up to kids, mauling them, okay, what's the solution? How do you stop that? You remove dogs from society. They don't want to deal with that. That's why in all these shows or news broadcasts is in honor of National Dog Bite Prevention Week. And during that week, they only want to focus on your kids need to stop hugging dogs. Your kids need to stop doing this to the dog. Okay, here's another one.
Week starts Monday, and with extended daylight hours, the chances of getting into an encounter with a dog increases. WDSU anchor Randy Russo spoke with the LASPCA and has several precautions parents should take to keep kids safe.
Well, it's that time of year here in Southeast Louisiana when we all want to get outside, including our animals. But for those of you who maybe have young children, it's not always good to maybe come across a dog that you're not too familiar with because we want to prevent any biting. So joining us now is Amanda and Octavia to tell us kind of what you do whenever you encounter a dog that you're not too familiar with.
Well, the first thing is if the dog is with somebody, you should always ask if you are allowed to pet the animal. Never just approach any animal without permission.
And what about other dogs? Because I know, for me, I take my 2 dogs out, and we're seeing a lot of dogs in our walks these days.
Right. Well, it's really important to keep your dog on a leash. There is a leash law, so it keeps everybody safe when you keep your dog on a leash. It'll prevent any animal-to-animal attacks or any even bite cases.
Now, do you actually see more bite cases this time of year, or is it just kind of, I guess it depends on the situation, really?
It does. I mean, there is, I guess, a small uptick in bite cases during this summer. A lot of people go outside with their pets and enjoy the weather, so, things can happen. Bite cases.
Now, do you actually see more bite cases this time of year, or is it just kind of, I guess it depends on the situation, really?
It does. I mean, there is, I guess, a small uptick in bite cases during this summer. A lot of people go outside with their pets and enjoy the weather, so, things can happen. A lot of people go outside with their pets and enjoy the weather, so, things can happen.
Oh man. How disgusting. How disgusting. She couldn't even think of anything to say. So she just said, oh, things can happen. Yeah, there's an increase in dog attacks during the summer because people are out with their dogs and things can happen. Those things you're talking about that happen is dogs attacking people for no reason. That's what it is. That's what it is. And look at how pathetic of advice she's giving. What type of advice is this supposed to be? This is in honor of National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Where's the advice?
Exactly. Now, Octavia here is up for adoption. She loves treats. I'll tell you this. I found these treats in my desk here, and we've been playing around. So tell us a little bit about Octavia, this sweet little girl.
She is. Well,
So they're done giving advice. Now they want to talk about this worthless mutt that they're trying to adopt out. This is how they honor National Dog Bite Prevention Week. This week, this Dog Bite Prevention Week, is nothing but a week that they use to honor and praise dogs. It has nothing to do with reducing or keeping your kids safe at all. It has to do with protecting dogs. It has to do with blaming the victims if the dog attacks someone. Let's deal for a moment with this stupid, and I mean stupid, advice that they give during National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Tips on avoiding dog bites for National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Hey, it's worthless. Absolutely worthless. Children should be reminded to always abide by the following safety rules. Never approach any dog with whom they are unfamiliar or any dog they may know if the dog is unaccompanied by their pet parent. Always ask for permission from a pet's guardian. Kids, youngsters, I know there are a few youngsters, and I'm telling you, every source you find, they repeat and regurgitate this same nonsense. You heard the veterinarian say it right there on that news broadcast. You hear, you see they wrote it here, and on every source you go to, they have the same nonsense. Ask first. Get permission. Even though we have covered stories where permission was granted, where kids asked if they could pet the mutt. The owner said yes, and the dog attacked him. Ask first. When meeting an unfamiliar dog, don't reach out to pet it. Ask the owner. Get permission. With permission, let the dog sniff your closed hands. Look at all the stuff you got to do to keep from being attacked. And even if you keep your hand closed, it can still attack you. It still bite you. You got to bend over backwards, jump through hoops, walk on eggshells to reduce the chances of being attacked. All for what? So you can rub these nasty, stinking, worthless things? These people act like they're going to obtain gold by rubbing these things. Hell, if you could actually accumulate wealth from rubbing dogs, I'd take the chance on rubbing them. But we get nothing out of this. Nothing but an increased chance of being attacked. Do not approach any dog. You see how they use the word animal? They love doing that. Do not approach any dog who shows signs of injury or illness. Now, how are you supposed to know? If a mutt is ill, how are you supposed to know, man? It could have a cut or something on its abdomen. You can't see the injury. Act like you'll be able to see any and every injury that a dog has. You cannot try. If these people were true professionals who were looking out for the welfare of the public, they would tell you, stay away from dogs. Stay as far away from it as possible. And if a dog approaches you in an aggressive manner, shoot it. Stay armed and shoot it. That's not the advice they get. Do not approach any dog show signs of illness. If a child feels that a dog requires assistance, he or she should tell an adult. If a child feels that a dog requires assistance, he or she should tell. What the hell? What is that supposed to mean? How's a child supposed to know that a dog requires assistance? What are you talking about? This is our educated class, people, who are giving us advice on National Dog Bite Prevention Week. This is sad. This is sad and offensive. You go to school, you get all this education, and your job, you take an oath to look out for the welfare of the general public, and you put nonsense out like this. You're not even taking into consideration the actual dog attack cases. Because if you did, if any of these so-called professionals did that, they would change the things that they taught and told to the public. But it would be in favor of us, anti-dog people. And that's why they don't do it. Because these dog behaviorists and veterinarians are almost always dog nuts before they become a veterinarian or a dog or a behaviorist. Never approach a dog who is sleeping, eating, playing with their toy, or caring for puppies. Never provoke a dog through teasing, poking, pinching, or pulling. In other words, children should be reminded to follow. Keep in mind, this is advice for children. In other words, they're saying if a dog attacks a child, it's because of one of these reasons. The child was teasing, poking, pinching. The child approached the dog while it was sleeping, eating, playing with a toy. The child tried to touch the dog when it was sick or injured. The child failed to ask for permission. And again, we have not seen video footage yet, of a dog attacking a child because of any of these reasons. All of the attacks have been completely unprovoked. Yet they still hit us with this nonsense. People, this is why you got to protect yourself from these lunatics. You can't even depend on their so-called experts to give you sound advice. This is advice for kids. A dog attacks you or approaches you, fold your branches. Watch it. Stand there. Stand still. I shared a video in the community section from Four-Legged Plague. And he talks about how, well, he mentioned how if you go into a lion's territory and you're attacked, that's on you. That's on you. Dogs come into our territory and attack us, and we give them a pass. And the main thing you want to take from that is that it's backwards. That's a very backwards orientation. And that's what I've been talking about for the longest. For the longest, how backwards we are oriented to the world. Okay, something happened to my live stream. What happened here? All right, shout out to somebody in the super chat. I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Shout out to somebody in the super chat. Actually, I missed it. How stupid are we? How stupid are we? Where we allow predators that are physically superior to us into our community and basically allow them to attack us. These people know full well that there's nothing you can do to stop dog attacks. All of these so-called experts, these veterinarians, these dog behaviorists, they know that there is nothing you can do to stop. They know that every year there are going to be 5 million people attacked by dogs, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So why don't they tell us to not purchase them? That's the big question. And that's the advice that I'm giving people.
We're here to talk about...
Whoa. Sorry about that.
Dog bites today. Did you know that dog bites are on the rise?
People, this is scary. This video right here is scary. Now, I've been talking about this pattern, this brainwashery, this regurgitation of the same thing that they read and hear. Listen to this.
Especially during... We're here to talk about dog bites today. Did you know that dog bites are on the rise, especially during the summer? You can imagine kids running around playing rambunctious. Dogs get excited as well. What can you do to teach your children when they encounter a dog?
Dogs get excited as well. Have y'all noticed how many articles and these so-called experts, how often they've said that running is not something you want to do. You should teach kids, don't run, don't run. But have y'all noticed that dogs are free to run as much as they want? Nobody suggests that dogs shouldn't be running. Not even dogs feel like they should not run. And this goes back to the video that Four-Legged Plague made. That's a backwards orientation. Everything is turned backwards. We need to teach kids to stop running around dogs. But dogs can run around kids all they want. You should not approach a dog while it's eating. But a dog will approach you while you're eating stuff. It will even steal your food. Right? You should not look a dog in the face, but they can look at you all they want. Especially if you're eating, they will stare at you, look you right in the face. Okay, let's continue with it. So this is a crazy, crazy video right here.
Teach your child to ask for permission. Ask the dog owner, can I touch your dog? When you approach the dog, reach out with not an open hand, but a closed fist. If the dog is ready to receive you, he will sniff, and the dog owner will say, okay to pet. But don't pet him on the face. Pet him on the side of his neck or the side of his body. What are some things that you can teach your child when they're being attacked or chased by a stray dog? Well, tell them, stand like a tree, tall like a tree, bring in your branches, and look at your roots, and count to 10. Because as you know, a tree is boring, and the dog will run away. What else can you do if a child is attacked by a dog, or if it pushes the child down? Well, tell your child, be a rock. And what you can do is fold down into a ball and be a rock. You can't see me, huh?
My goodness. I don't even know what to say after that. I'm at a loss for words. Any other content creators in here, y'all please take over the live stream. Take over the live stream. What in the world? In other words, accept the attack. Right? That's basically what they're telling us. Accept the attack. Hope that the dog doesn't attack you. And if it does, simply accept it. That is backwards. No other creature allows you to come into their territory and attack their kids. It's as simple as that. You will not dare, even if you're dealing with herbivores, you will not dare go into their territory and attack their kids. You won't even attack them. You won't even attack the adults. But with these dog nuts, okay, let's separate us from these lunatics. With these dog nuts, they think it's totally acceptable to allow these mutated, brain-dead mutants into our territory and attack us, attack our kids. Now, we cannot stop them from allowing the dog to attack their own kids, but we can stop them from allowing those mutts to attack us. And the way you do that is with a bullet. A bullet or a BB. Now, I know BB, it doesn't sound that effective. It's very effective. Get a BB gun and shoot like a tree with it. It will puncture the skin of a dog. It will. You don't need a license. Okay? Yeah. Hey, now that's funny. Ban All Dog said that she needs an exorcism. She seems like she's possessed. She really does seem like she's possessed. And she is possessed. She's possessed by the rhetoric that she has learned as whatever professional she is. And she can't think outside of it. That's how they all are. They don't even try. Honestly, it doesn't even seem like they try to think outside the box. And that's the worst type of so-called professional. True professionals who are true to their craft, they keep up with stories, current events, and they make changes to the things that they teach, to the things that they learned in college. They make changes to that stuff before they give advice to the general public. These people don't. They simply regurgitate. The only people who does that is us. We're the only ones who've looked at dozens of cases and have drawn conclusions based on those cases. But they continue to come out with this stupid advice. Dog bite prevention. Look at this. Look at this. Reasons a dog might bite. Y'all see that? Reasons a dog might bite. Scared. Any and everything makes them scared. So, okay, startled. Any and everything will startle them. Literally. Like I said before, whenever they give you a list of the reasons why dogs attack, they're basically saying that they will attack for no reason. If you will attack for any and every reason, that means you attack for no reason at all. Scared, startled, needs space. The dog will attack if you invade its personal space. But yet they tell you never invade a dog's personal space. So again, the dog can do everything to you that it won't allow you to do to it. Why are you compelled to love something like this? Never invade a dog's personal space. But yet, as soon as you walk through the door, first thing a mutt does is pounce on you. Stuff its face in your crotch. You know what? The next time a dog stuffs its face in your crotch, you need to punch that mutt square in the top of its head. Attack it just like it would attack you. Because if you invade the dog's personal space and the dog attacks you, they would tell you that the dog was justified. If we treat dogs the same way dogs treat us, dogs would get attacked all the time. They always invading our personal space. Guarding a resource. In pain. Well, you know, a dog get too close to you. You got an injury. You're in pain. Your stomach hurt. Right? You got indigestion. I guess it's okay for you to attack that mutt. It would attack you if it were in pain. But worst of all, look at what it says here at the bottom. And others. And they left it at that. And this is advice that's coming from a dog training company. And others. What others are you talking about? They're saying that dogs will attack you for other reasons. Reasons other than what they listed here. Okay, don't you think it's important for you to tell us what those other reasons are? Is this smart for you to just say, and there's some other reasons too. Let's move on. Again, you cannot trust these people are worthless. It's infuriating to me that these people can get paid as professionals. That they actually make a living off of hustling and lying, deceiving the general public. All you dog nuts, dog behaviorists, dog trainers, and whatever to follow this channel, you should at least respect the fact that I'm telling the people the truth. I'm not trying to hustle and lie and deceive them. And they do this to protect the dogs. Okay? Because what are the other reasons? The other reasons are the mutts attack for no reason. The other reasons are to establish dominance. You notice how they never list that the dog will attack to establish dominance, to simply establish dominance? Because that's a way to admit. If they were to say that, that's the same as admitting, well, it'll attack you for no reason at all. Humans don't go around beating up each other just to establish dominance. So they always conveniently leave that out. So they lie to the general public. And the general public is unprepared because of those lies that they've been told by these so-called experts. Important to remember, any breed of dog can bite, even friendly dogs. Bite. Look what it says down here. Biting is part of every dog's communication toolbox. How about that? How about that? Humans don't go around stabbing each other as a way to communicate. Could you imagine if humans pulled out shanks and start going ham on other people as a way of saying hi? Or as a way of saying, excuse me, I need to get by? That further proves that these things have no place in society, because biting is a part of their communication toolbox. This is sad when you can use information from dog trainers themselves to prove that these things should be banned. I've been doing that video after video. Not just me. Pretty much every anti-dog platform on the internet has been doing this, using the same information that these experts, veterinarians, behaviorists put out against them. Preventing a dog bite. Review a dog's body language. Teach kids how to recognize body language warning signs. Don't punish the dog for giving warning signs. And this is all they had to offer. What in the world? Boy, oh boy. See, we are left to figure out how to protect ourselves on our own. That's what this boils down to. And the best advice I could give people is the example that I use, is the method that I use. And my method is to stay armed. To stay armed. And I will draw my gun in a heartbeat. It's not a problem. You draw your dog? You letting your dog run around off a leash? Okay. Two can play that game. Okay? Just make sure you are within the law. Your licensed carrier. Okay? Check the laws in your state and all of that. But these people, they cannot wait to let their dog run around off leash. They can't wait. And the people who are going to have to pay for that is going to be us. Please don't be a victim. Do not let these people make a victim out of you. Right? So big shout out to everybody who joined this stream. Stay safe out there, people. I don't want to hear about anybody who follow this channel, frequent my live streams, being attacked or killed, or someone's kids being attacked. I feel like we are the awakened people. So I think we should be best equipped to defend ourselves. The people who get attacked and find themselves victims should only be these brainwashed people who are either dog nuts or who are not educated enough, who haven't educated themselves enough to know that these so-called experts, they only give out rubbish advice. Right? So, yeah, stay safe out there, people. I'm going to come back a little later on tonight, and we're going to talk about how nasty these worthless mutants are. I have to get back into this. You know, I always look for different perspectives, and I'm going to give one most likely a little later on tonight. If not, it will be early tomorrow. I will definitely try to give a longer warning or a heads up. At least an hour. Is only half hour today, right? My apologies for that. And man, yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but it's true. Now, we've read that somewhere else, that dogs communicate by biting, right? Charles D. Curry said, but my goodness, I run up and stab you, talking about I was just saying hi. But I'm just saying, keep in mind that this is not the only source that I've shared. There are other sources that I've shared that where they say that biting is a part of a dog's way of communicating. Y'all probably heard where they said that dogs will bite as a way of correcting their puppies or correcting whoever. They'll bite anything. Okay. That's why they should be banned. That's exactly why they should be banned. It just makes me so mad. The way they admit that dogs are dangerous. The way they articulate how dogs will attack for any and every little thing. Yet on top of that, we have all these reports, news coverages. We actually have film, all these articles of dog attacks that were completely unprovoked. We've seen dogs come out of nowhere and attack kids for absolutely no reason. Despite all of this, these so-called professionals still insist on blaming the victims, blaming the kids. And when the time comes for them to give us advice on how to keep kids safe from dogs, they want to blame the kids. That is so infuriating. And what's really infuriating is that there's not that many people who are listening to the truth. You know, I don't take for granted the people that visit or that follow this channel or any of the other YouTube channels, anti-dog YouTube channels, or, you know, dogsbite.org. I don't take for granted that, but man, it should be millions. It should be millions of people who are aware of these facts, of this information, who should be aware of the fact that almost all dog attacks on kids are unprovoked. They're right there in these articles. But yet, when these professionals come out and want to give advice, they never take those reports into consideration. Never. And that's what's most infuriating. And all you dog experts, you dog behaviorists, should be ashamed of yourself. Should be ashamed of yourself for not taking all of these reports into consideration. And you never will. And you know you never will. Because you don't want to blame the dogs for the attack. Anytime a dog attacks, you bend over backwards looking for a way to blame the victims or to blame the owner. Oh, it was a bad owner. Your goal is to take blame away from the dog, the creature actually carrying out the attack is the one most responsible for the attack. And that creature should be dealt with. And they should be removed from society. And even worse, people, even worse than that, these experts, they still recommend that you get permission from the dog owner before you pet the dog. Despite the fact, once again, they're ignoring actual reports of dog attacks where not only children but adults as well got permission from the dog's owner, went to pet the mutt, and got attacked. Let me leave with this. Kids, stay away from dogs. Don't ask for permission to pet no worthless stinking mutt. It's not going to benefit you at all. If your parents try to get you to pet a dog, flat out, straight out, tell them, no, I don't want to. And tell them I don't like dogs. Tell them I hate dogs. You have to be stern about it. I hate dogs. Do not let anybody, not even your parents, talk you into rubbing no dog. It does nothing for you. The only thing it does is increase the chances of getting attacked. 400,000 kids per year need ER treatment. 2.5 million get bitten every year. Don't be one of that 2.5 million, that 400,000. Don't be one of that 10 to 15,000 kids every year who need reconstructive surgery, who are mutilated and disfigured for life. Because all it takes is for that to happen once, and you're disfigured for the rest of your life. So it's in your best interest to not be around any of these dogs. Any of them. So I hope you all will be able to join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.